Hi, welcome to Rivetea. I am Long Hair Linda and welcome back if you've been here before. I'm going to be recapping season 1, episode 6 of Love and Marriage DC. This one's called Emotional Overload. So I have actually recapped the other 5 episodes so far of this season. So please do go check them out on my channel and subscribe while you're there. But let's get straight into episode 6. Let's go. So we open with Quick and Ashley getting out of a very nice car and are heading to the doctor's. Quick has a pain in his wrist and swelling in his fingers. The doctor says that the inflammation is probably due to overuse. Gout and arthritis are probably a cause, and if it is gout, Quick would need to make lifestyle changes, including cutting alcohol, and wear a brace for a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks. Ashley asked the doctor if he would be able to take it off to work, like the brace, and the doctor hesitates, saying that she would like Quick to wear it often as much as he can, basically. In their confessional, Quick says he won't wear a brace, and, a very, very frustrated Ashley says it's because Quick does what he thinks is right, not what Ashley thinks is right, not what a doctor thinks is right. Back at the doctor's, Quick asks the doctor what is the worst that can happen if he doesn't wear a brace or generally just doesn't follow the doctor's orders or guidance. And the doctor says Quick will eventually lose function in that wrist and be unable to DJ. So basically, Quick is in the process of overworking himself to the point of not being able to do what he loves to do again. So probably time to think about that schedule now, Quick, huh? As the doctor leaves the room, Ashley says that she just wants Quick to practice what he preaches about working smarter and not harder. Quick asks if he's supposed to not have fun, not DJ, not drink, not work out, just stay at home and get old and fat. No, Quick, maybe just don't work to the point where you're falling asleep and having an accident on the road, Maybe just wear a brace for a month until your wrist is better before you get back on the decks. Maybe follow the doctor's orders so you can still play with your kids and spend time with your family without being in pain constantly, Just a suggestion, just a suggestion. Ashley responds to Quick's little exaggeration of the doctor's words by saying maybe he could do 10 events instead of 14 and asks how is he supposed to be able to grab her butt if his wrist doesn't work? Questions that need answers. Irena and her daughter Brittany are out having dinner and drinks together, and Irena fills Brittany in on the property that they visited in the last episode. It turns out Jamie had gone to Brittany to complain about Irena's attitude, and Brittany wants to know whether he expected her to reprimand her own mother, because what's she gonna do about it? Brittany talks about how Jamie likes to always make suggestions on what they should all be doing in the family, and how she told him that she would be the one to check him when he came to her place after the family dinner. In her confessional, Brittany says that she's witnessed all 26 years of their marriage. She's around 30, and I think so. She's Irena's daughter from a previous relationship, obviously has been raised by Jamie. So she's witnessed all 26 years of their marriage, and they're not perfect, but the family aren't the ones that need to change. Jamie is. Brittany and Irena agree on how Jamie says he gets it when they talk to him about his behaviour in the moment, but then goes right back to doing whatever he wants to do. Quick and Ashley are hosting Chris and Monique for dinner and have ordered their favourite takeout along with vegan takeout for Monique. They joke about how there's no chefs or pâtés at the Silvas. This is the fun house. They even have red Solo cups. I love that for them. They look like a good time. I want to have dinner around the Silvas house. I do. They look like a fun time. When Chris and Monique arrives, Monique talks about how badly she felt after Ashley's event, and she feels like she owes them both an apology. She was looking for resolution, and she thought Winter was as well. And in her confessional, Ashley says talking about Winter was not on the menu for today. Now, producers do a montage of Monique talking about Winter, and honestly, this is what I imagine Ashley hears and sees when people talk to her about things that bore her. Monique says the thing that's confusing to her is that Winter is not that type of chick. She's not messy. Really? Quick thinks Winter is, trying to play tit for tat games, like, you're not going to clown me, so I've got to clown you. And so she came to Ashley's event to try and embarrass her. I actually disagree with Quick a little here. I think Winter was in defense mode when she walked in, because she walked into a very hostile environment. They'd all just been talking about her, Monique was getting them all riled up by what she actually said. Monique didn't make anything up, but talking right before she got there, she was walking into some mess, right? So yeah, I think Monique came and spilled all the tea, riled them all up. Winter was walking into a little something because Winter by herself with just Monique was, talking spicy. She was brave. She maybe thought that it wouldn't get back to Ashley and Arena. I don't know. But when you're in defense mode, you're just trying to say whatever you have to hurt the other person's feeling. You're trying to get them back so that you can try and stop them in the moment. You know what I mean? I don't think that she walked in trying to play tit for tat games, but she was in defense mode, so she just had to defend herself. What do you guys think about this? Ashley says the difference between her and Winter is that Winter was talking about rumours about Quick, whereas Ashley was only speaking on the information that Winter brought up herself. Ashley doesn't, she doesn't know anything about this girl apart from what she has told them. Quick adds that they all know what comes with the territory of being successful: jealousy, hate, envy, lies, and rumours. Quick says they're not bothered by rumours and allegations, especially when they know it's not true, but Ashley feels like Winter wanted to try and go deep with her comments. And again, if you're in defense mode, I think you are trying to cut. You're trying to cut deep. Now, what she was doing with Monique before, like all of the stuff that she was saying there, that was her trying to, that was out of nowhere, because she wasn't being provoked. She was trying to be dramatic for the show. That's my opinion. I think she was trying to bring the drama to the show. It has enough. It has enough. We didn't need you to come and do this. Chris says, he gets that they're ticked off, but he wouldn't feed too much life into this, and he would just laugh at this if it was him. Quick makes it clear that Winter played with his wife at her event, and that's why they were angry. Producer Monique chimes in with her little 2 cents about thinking that, she was coming in to fix things. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You wanted to be in the mix of the drama. You wanted to have your producer hat on. You knew the argument would be good for TV. So let's stop lying now. Okay. In her confessional, Monique says she wants Quick and Ashley to know that she's not taking this lightly, and she doesn't want them to look at her and Chris sideways, and continues to make it all about her. At the dinner when she's sitting there with Ashley and Quick, and she was like, oh, I'm supposed to come back from the motherland and bring peace and zen, but I was just lighting bombs accidentally. Chris backs her up by saying that's not who Monique is, and Quick says that's not who any of them are. They don't do mess. Ashley has heard rumours about herself and said, please tell me more. Energy. Ashley tells Monique that Winter should have just told her at the dinner that Ashley apologised, but that wasn't enough for her. Monique says clearly it wasn't enough for her. Ashley goes on to say that she should have just said that, and not that she was attacked and that all these things that didn't happen happened. Ashley says it's fine that Winter feels like she's aggressive, because sometimes she is. Listen, I love a self-aware queen. I do. I like that she's just like, sometimes I can be aggressive. Yeah. And I don't blame her, because if you had a nickname for my husband, or you were talking crazy about my husband, talking about rumours, and you brought all of these things trying to act like you were being attacked in a situation that you weren't, I might be aggressive too, because at this point, you're coming for me, right? You're trying something. So you get what you get. Monique insists that she knows Winter. Winter is a woman's woman who empowers women, and that she would like to have Ashley and Winter for lunch to try and work this out, because all these lunches have been going well so far. Monique said that she felt so stressed by the situation the next day that she even called her intuitive healer for a session to get that energy off of her. Monique says that her intuitive healer can adjust your energy by feeling where you're holding on to something like anxiety and anger, and then help you release it. Quick and Ashley want to go, and Monique says the intuitive healer may even touch your leg or your knee as part of the session, and Quick says, whoa. Chris says it's not that type of party. It'd be a sad ending, not a happy ending. Ashley says there will be even more rumours, and Quick is like, yeah, Quick likes happy endings. It was great to see the couples laugh all of this off, and also it's clear that Ashley is more focused on Winter bringing up rumours about Quick and not the nickname so much, because for me it would be the nicknames thing. But maybe Monique hasn't told her yet. I don't think Monique has told her yet, so maybe that's why. But I just thought that was interesting. At Winter's, she's hanging with her 4 children from her previous marriage to the ex-NFL player, and Winter tells 2 of her kids that she has moved forward with the divorce to Kevin. Her daughter, Kayla clapping and says she feels like Kevin was moving so swiftly to try and make all of these promises because he just wanted to bag her. Kayla goes on to say that it was manipulation, it was love bombing, he was buying her gifts and taking Winter out shopping to disguise who he actually was. Winter says in her confessional that she felt really empowered by her own children, with them letting her know that the manipulation that she experienced wasn't her fault. And Kayla doesn't like to see her mum beating herself up. She just wants her to take time for herself. But Winter is angry that he was able to get into her life and her kids' life. It was touching to see the kids be there for her and give her encouragement, even if it did feel a little bit rehearsed. Monique has invited Ashley and Winter for drinks. I'm glad they went for drinks and not lunch, because whenever they sit down and try to have a meal, it just seems to go wrong. So she's hoping that they're going to come to some kind of resolution. And Ashley says in her confessional that she didn't want to be there, but she's doing Monique a favour and she's just trying to be a team player. Winter arrives shortly after Ashley and says in her confessional that this is deja vu. She's walking into a situation where Monique is seated with people that she has issues with. How many times has this happened to you, sis? Monique starts off the conversation by addressing the misunderstanding that stemmed from Winter and Monique's dinner. As the ladies talk it through, it's looking like Monique is getting the blame for how she delivered the news from how Winter opened it up to Monique as a friend.
Right. It was delivered to me like you were like, well, I heard rumors about your husband. I would never do that, Ashley. But that's why I was so confused, and that's why I was so angry, because I was like, that's not how the conversation went down.
While I do think Monique was being messy, and I know I've said this before, but while I do think Monique was being messy, I don't think she misconstrued or misunderstood anything that Winter said. Winter did make it seem like she was being a victim. Winter made it feel like she was being attacked. She was the victim of Irena and Ashley attacking her. That's how it came across. And she was coming for Ashley, Irena, and their husbands at this dinner with Monique, right? Monique didn't get that wrong. So I'm just like, I'm watching Winter say she would never say anything about Quick and his rumors. Like, but you did. You did say that.
I felt a little bit of tension between Ashley and I. And I'm like, first of all, you don't know me like that. Right. I'm not judging you. We hear all sorts of stuff about Quick in the streets, but that's not my business. I've never heard anything about Quick. You don't get out the house. But for those of us that get out the house, like, it's not breaking news.
Winter says the miscommunication came from her just talking to Monique as a friend about how she was feeling. But you definitely said the things that Ashley is mad about. Like, am I crazy? You need to stand in your truth. Stand in your truth.
Stand in your truth.
Monique says she was just trying to help, but next time she won't even get involved. Ashley says that she didn't have ill feeling before this situation towards Winter, but now she does. Winter apologizes if Ashley felt she was coming for her marriage, because that's not who she is or something she would ever do. I'm sick of people telling me who they are and what they do and how they... Stop it. I hate when people do this. Winter doesn't like to call women out of their name, especially black women. And Ashley doesn't eye roll at the same time that I rolled my eyes, and says that she doesn't care what colour you are if you're coming after her marriage. I know that's right. You can be whatever colour you want to be. Don't come from... it's just simple. Watching this, it's like this whole back and forth with Winter versus the ladies. It's just so simple to me that, like, it's just being dragged out and driving me up the wall, because it's like, this is so simple. It doesn't even need to be an argument. It just doesn't. Monique says maybe Winter needs to work on her storytelling skills, and Ashley wants to know if there is anything else underlying that Winter needs to get off her chest so that she doesn't leave the dinner thinking everything is fine again and find out later that Winter's been talking about her again. Ashley says in her confessional that she doesn't think anything about Winter. If she never sees her again, great. If she sees her again, she exists. She was a stranger to her before, and she can be a stranger again. She does not care. Relatable. Ashley gets up from the table and says she's leaving this dinner again, saying they're not friends, and Winter and Monique can work on their friendship. One thing about Ashley, she is consistent in telling you what she thinks. She is consistent. I love that about her. Monique and Chris arrive at Terry's place. Terry is the intuitive healer, and they're excited for the Silvas and the Tylers to join them for a couple session. Terry, the intuitive healer, says that she's there to help them open up about the things that they didn't even know needed to be opened up, and that she works with couples to help them connect on a deeper level and share things so that they can let things from their past kind of go. They head into a salt cave as Terry begins scanning everybody to see what's going on. And Terry starts with Jamie and Irena. Jamie says in his confessional that he doesn't really believe in all this stuff. And back in the cave, Terry says to Jamie that she sees insecurity in him at times, and that in his insecurity. In his insecurity can be aggression. He doesn't want to appear weak when he's insecure, so he comes at people like a pit bull, appearing not as kind as he actually is on the inside and can push people away. Terry advises him to be quiet when he's feeling insecure instead, so that he can create a more intimate space without coming across as a bully and not knowing how to back down. Wonderful advice. Irena says Terry is spot on about Jamie. Terry goes on to tell Jamie that it's something from his childhood and he's moving forward with his chest like a pit bull. In their confessional, Irena confirms that that's his exact posture when he gets aggressive. Even Jamie agrees with her in their confessional, and he's the type where he's like, if you don't bother him, he won't bother you, but if you do, then you get what you get. Also relatable. Terry moves on to Quick and says something happened when he was in the 3rd grade and she's seeing, a bunch of 9s, the number 9. Quick is shocked and said when he was 9, he found out his mum had cancer and was dying, and his dad died in 1999. His mum died when he then turned 10, which is when he started DJing. All of his life, Quick has been afraid of good news because every time something good happens in his life, something horrible happens a year later. Terry says if he's always worrying that something will go wrong, he's not living deep and will always live on the surface. Terry says this is a form of self-sabotage because it's going to always be surface fun. Quick says working is his coping mechanism, and he wishes that his dad had lived to see the fruits of his labor and to see like his wife and see his kids. And Chris says he feels like Quick's dad can see him. Quick's dad sees him. Quick says in his confessional that selfishly he wishes, his dad had lived long enough to be able to just go and tell everyone that, he was being a bad father. Why are you not making that boy go to school? Why are you not making him go get a real job? But instead letting him DJ, because he just wishes that his dad could just be like, I told you so, to all those people that didn't believe in his kid, Terry tells Quick that he's continuing to live with entertaining everybody while Ashley is trying to pull the depth out of him. Ashley says she doesn't want the Quick Silva show. She wants him to be honest about his emotions with her. In their confessional, Ashley says Quick has a lot of healing to do and he doesn't want to face that. Quick has that as long as he was working, he didn't have to face them. And Ashley then says, well, the problem is still there. Quick says, well, the money comes when I work. I would have rolled my eyes too, Ashley. Terry turns to Chris, telling him that, he needs to stop living through Monique. Monique interprets this in their confessional as Terry meaning that Chris needs to go find his passion and align himself with it and not align himself with Monique's passion. Terry wants them to talk about it later and meet in the middle on both of their interpretations of what she said. Terry's on to Irena next and says she feels like Irena is covering something up and is hurt a lot. When she starts crying, Jamie then taps her to stop and Terry tells him, look, you remind me of a little boy, like with a tap, with like a little like, oh, don't cry kind of thing. Like Terry tells Jamie you need to look at her, you need to hear her. They don't need to cover up. Irena needs to be heard and they are covering up for perfection. In fact, Irena then goes to say she's felt that everything is needed to be perfect since she was young. In her confessional, Irena says that, she was feeling very, very vulnerable and very emotional in that moment. And the last thing that she needed was Jamie trying to stop her from crying, but actually needed him to comfort her, which, that broke me a little bit because you can see that all she wanted was, and everyone wants that, right? When you're sad and you're being vulnerable, when you're emotional, when things are coming up that you weren't expecting, especially, you want your person to comfort you in that moment and kind of be the strength for you because you're being vulnerable. instead like tapping you to stop crying, you know, like it's in front of people, like shush shush, all this kind of stuff. It's, yeah, I broke for her. Terry wants the couples to go home and talk about everything that came up in the couple session, and Terry makes a point of saying to Chris, not just think about, talk about. This was a really, really, really great session to watch on TV, in my opinion. Even if you're not really necessarily like a spiritual person yourself, I think watching this, you can agree that at least a conversation starter was had, you know, between the couples to help each other sort of navigate through life's challenges and heal traumas from their past, you know, especially things that they experienced individually before they got together. I think it's really, really nice to see something like this on TV. Again, it doesn't even have to be spiritually based. It can just be from like you know, a growing and evolving in a marriage, the, you know, bits of things that you can think about and work through together. I think it's just nice. Okay, so in the final scene of episode 6, Quick and his brothers go to their father's gravesite, inspired by the session with Terry the intuitive healer. Quick and his brothers recount their dad's advice to, you know, never cry about anything and never open up. And they all talk about how important it is to open up to people, and then they end up hugging each other and telling each other that they all love each other, which is just so cute. Quick asks his brothers if they think that they've made their dad proud, and they say yes. Quick brought the letter that their mother wrote to them, and this is the letter that she wrote when she told them that she was dying. So this will only be the second time Quick has read the letter out loud in 30 years, and the first time was to Ashley. It was so sweet, and honestly a bit of a tearjerker seeing Quick read the letter. And Quick, you know, he talks about how much pressure there's been on him from a young age to look after everyone in his life, but he vows that he's going to do his best to slow down a little. He doesn't know how, but he wants to be better. And that is the end of episode 6. Okay. So, I gave this one the highest rating for an episode so far this season, and I've given it a 9.5 out of 10. There were a lot of really, really lovely moments, sprinkled in with some drama, of course, and some truths. But overall, this was just such a lovely episode. Quick obviously had his wrist problems, and later finding out that his overworking, which is what's causing these wrist issues, are a result of, or the overworking itself is a result of things that he's gone through in his childhood. So it was really nice to hear about that and kind of connect the dots and see how somebody can arrive to a point where they're overworked to the point where like they're messing up their health, you know. We of course had Ashley versus Winter part 4. Winter was trying to backtrack how spicy her comments were, and she's basically letting Monique take the blame for her delivery instead of just owning what she said. Terry the intuitive healer, I love how accurate she was about how the couples like behave and feel, and basically giving them advice on what to do at home to connect better and heal their traumas. Love that. And of course Quick already starting to make those changes by taking the first step to meet his brother, multiple brothers, at his dad's grave, and facing something, you know, really real and painful because he likes to hide from those things. So him facing that at the end, it was just a beautiful full circle episode. So yeah, 9.5 from me. I want to know what you rated this episode though. I want to know what you think, your comments, anything that's annoying you. What do you think about this whole Ashley Winter thing? Are you sick of it too? Because I am. Let me know in the comments. Give me a like and a share if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Catch you tomorrow for a recap of episode 7. Bye.